My daughter, for the first few years of my storytelling, fell in love with the sound of her voice and decided she would tell stories. And we were in Jonesboro, Tennessee one Saturday night in the cemetery telling ghost stories. And the little ones, the little kids that she had met in Jonesboro for years, they were all good friends and they would all run around together in the dark. I have no idea what these kids were doing while 2,000 people were in the cemetery. I couldn't find her until it was over. She was with her buddies from Jonesboro. But one night, after the Jonesboro ghost storytelling, we went back to the motel and she said, "I've got a good story for you." She said, "My friends told me." And I said, "Let's hear it." My little daughter told this story. Many years ago and far away, there lived a king. He was king over a beautiful kingdom. His people were wonderful people. But something had happened. People were dying. His people were dying all around them. All around him, his people were dropping dead from some dreaded disease. He called in his wise men and he said, "Tell me, what has happened to my people?" And the wise men all went to their books and they could not find one reason for this disease. And there was a decree sent out into the kingdom. If you can tell me where the disease comes from, I will give you 1/3 of my kingdom and all the riches you can carry away. Help me, the king. And one day, when the king was holding court, an old man came into the court. My king, I wish an audience with you." And the king, who never turned one man down, said, "Come here, old man, and talk to me." "My king," said the old man, "I am 105 years old. I have lived in this kingdom all of my life. Many years ago, there was the same dreaded disease right here. There was a sorcerer in this kingdom who one day stood among the people and removed the disease and brought the people back to life." And the king said, "Is that sorcerer still alive?" The old man said, "Yes, he is." "Oh," said the king, Where can I find him?" "Oh," said the old man, "he lives far away in the middle of the dark, dark wood." "Oh," said the king, "but I hear tell the dark, dark wood is dangerous." "Hoo-hoo," said the old man, "it is. There are creatures there that are called yellow fingers that will kill." The king said, "If the sorcerer is in the dark, dark wood, I will find him." He sent for his knights in armor. The bravest knight in the kingdom mounted the black steed and rode off into the dark, dark wood, and was never seen again. One night after the other disappeared as they went into the dark, dark woods searching for the sorcerer. And finally the king said, "I must do something." And way back in his court was a young boy, 12, 13, 14 years old, a young page, said to the king, "I shall go into the dark, dark wood. I shall find the sorcerer, and I will save your kingdom." And the king said, "But you are only a boy, a young page." "I am not afraid." And the king said, "Put on my suit of armor." "No," said the young man, "I shall go without it." "Remember," said the king, "the dreaded yellow fingers." And off went the boy. 2 weeks later, he had returned. This young boy, this page, without armor, without weapons, with the sorcerer. The king's kingdom was saved, and the king heaped riches upon the young man's head. And the king stood on the balcony with the young hero and said to his people, "We shall have a speech from this young hero." And this young man who had saved the kingdom said to the king, "You must remember, my king, when you need help, let your pages do the walking to the yellow fingers." I chased that kid all around that motel room that night. I was so disappointed with that story. She hasn't ever forgotten it either. Nor have I.